Welcome into Drew's Daily Diamond for Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. I am Drew Martin breaking down the slate of games. We got some day action to get into, primetime games, West Coast night, late night games as well. Let me know in the comments below what your MLB picks are for today, where you agree, where you disagree. All is welcome. Smash that like button if you're liking the content as we head to Milwaukee for the first game up, 2:10 Eastern here, Toronto Blue Jays. Chris Bassett on the hill up against Tobin Myers going for the Brew Crew. Pick'em price tag, 8 in the hook being the total. Toronto has played better ball. They just won last night with Kikuchi on the hill, just one game under 500. The Brewers come in, 11 games over 500 plus 9 units on the season. Number one team, top of the standings there in the NL Central. Myers on the hill for Milwaukee. 8 innings, blanking the Detroit Tigers, just one hit his last time out. So he's riding a hot hand. And we get Bassett going for the Jays, 16th rounder out of Akron. The former Zip, 3.8 ERA and FIP. He has been solid, but he's faced the White Sox 2 of his last 4 starts. So a little bit weaker strength of schedule. He's going up against a pretty good Brewers lineup. And just like if you watched yesterday's show, guys, we were on the Blue Jays because Milwaukee was up against Kikuchi, the lefty. Well, their lefty-righty dichotomy is pretty glaring here. Now they're up against a righty. We want to be betting on Milwaukee against righties. So that's going to put us on the Brewers, minus 105 here, guys. Pick 'em price tag with the home team, bullpen edge as well towards the Brew Crew. So in Milwaukee, pick 'em price, we're on the Brewers. Next one up, 4:10 Eastern, 1:10 local start here. In Petco Park, it's the Padres hosting the Oakland A's. Hogan Harris on the hill for the Athletics. Michael King for the Padres. Padres heavy favorites here, minus 185 at home, total of 8. Oakland comes in 26-43, 17 games under 500. They've lost 4 straight, 10 of 13. Man, don't want to catch a falling knife in this situation. Padres, a game over 500 now. They've won 4 of their last 5 playing better baseball. King on the hill, 12th rounder out of Boston College. 2 earned runs in his last 3 starts combined. 83 strikeouts for the season. Now, this Padres team, it's kind of both of the first 2 games we're going to talk here, guys. There's heavy lefty-righty dichotomies, part of the handicap. The Padres have absolutely smashed righties, the second best team by team OPS against righties. However, they're bottom 10 against lefties, and they get a lefty here in Hogan Harris. He actually won his last start as plus 155 underdogs, holding the Blue Jays to just 1 run. They won that game 2-1. The thing here, guys, is when you start betting on teams, and unfortunately, we learned this the wrong way if you followed on yesterday's video. On the Athletics, it looked pretty, but it's just teams with, 17 games under 500. They find ways to lose games. So going to pump the brakes on betting on the underdog. If you asked me for a side in this game, I would be plus 160 on the Athletics. But instead here, day action on a Wednesday, pitcher's ballpark, West Coast. We get a total of 8 with 2 pitchers I think could have good starts here. I don't think we get to 8 runs, guys. I think this finishes, 4-2, 3-1, something in that nature. So we'll go Athletics, Padres, under the total of 8. Heading to the night slate up next, Atlanta Braves, Baltimore Orioles, 6:35 Eastern start as we get Cade Pavich going for the O's. Spencer Schwellenbach going for the Braves. Total of 9, minus 126. That's the O's at home. The Atlanta Braves now almost down 10 units on the season. They are 10 games back of Philadelphia here. They've lost 4 straight games. They're 9-16 since the middle of May. The lineup's a little bit banged up. 0 runs last night. This is not a team I want to be betting on, guys, by any means. And they're up against the Orioles, one of the best teams in baseball, in my opinion. They're now up 22 games over 500, just 2.5 games back of the New York Yankees in the AL East. They're up double-digit units for the season. They've won 5 straight games. This is a bet-on profile for me. 24-year-old Pavich on the hill, the third rounder out of Nebraska. In his first start of the season, 5 innings, 6 earned runs, 5 walks against the Blue Jays. That's, in my opinion, why this number is just 26 cents on the O's as the favorite, because there's a big question mark with their starting pitcher. Now, he's up against Schwellenbach going for the Braves, also a 24-year-old second rounder out of Nebraska. So the Cornhuskers going after each other here. He's a rookie, his third start. He's also 0-2. He gave up 12 hits in 9 innings, 9 earned runs. So big question marks, both starting pitchers' roles. It's just the bullpen heavy edge here towards the Orioles. Orioles have been good against righties, one of the best lineups in baseball. And this Braves lineup, like we talked about just a second ago, ice cold right now. I think the 26 cents is short, guys. Baltimore has been a great bet this season, been a great bet for multiple years now. We get them at home here. We'll lay the 26 cents with the Orioles over the Braves. Next one up, heading to the Motor City here. Washington Nationals, Detroit Tigers, 6:40 Eastern start. It's Jake Irvin going for the Nats. Reese Olson for the Detroit Tigers. Tigers minus 130 home favorites, total of 8. Detroit comes in 2 games under 500. They have lost 4 of their last 5 up against the Nationals. One of the better bets in baseball. We've been on them a bunch. It's been a fun ride. They are 4 games under 500, but plus 12 units to the positive, telling us they've been cashing some plus price tickets. They're getting a plus price here. They've won 4 straight, up 5.5 units in those 4 games. So they've cashed some plus prices recently here. And Irvin on the hill, the 6'6", 225-pounder, 27 years old, out of Oklahoma, the former Sooner, 64-14 strikeout to walk ratio. In his last time out against the Braves, 6 innings, 0 earned, just 4 hits given up, riding a hot hand here. And Reese Olson, last time out, I like betting on what have you done for me recently? Well, Irvin's been good. Reese Olson, not so much. 8 earned runs in just 4 innings last time out. He's given up 13 earned runs in his last 9 innings pitched. That's 18 hits in those 2 starts. So 18 hits in just 9 innings. 2 hits per inning. He's getting knocked around, going up against this Nationals team that's been a great bet, and they have a heavy bullpen edge here. Over the last 5 weeks, bullpen whip, they are top 5 in MLB. I think they shut the door at the end of the game here. I think it's wrong team favored in the Motor City. Plus 120, Washington Nationals is how we're betting this one. 7:10 Eastern up next. Heading to the Queen City with the Cincinnati Reds hosting the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians come in on top of the AL Central. Cincinnati right in the mix in the NL wildcard race. 3 games under 500. Nick Lodolo on the hill here for the Reds. He's been good. Commanding a minus 115 price tag. 8 or 8.5 being the total, depending where you're shopping. Cleveland, 21 games over 500. They've had a great season. They've won 3 straight. They've won 6 of their last 7 with Bybee on the hill here. He's a 5th rounder out of Cal State Fullerton. 5 straight solid starts. I think we get another one here. Now, I don't love going up against Lodolo. Actually, if you've been watching the show over the last couple of weeks, since he's been making starts, we've been betting on him a lot. And they have won 3 straight Lodolo starts. But the former first rounder out of TCU here, sub-3 ERA, he's going up against a pretty good Cleveland lineup. I mean, they've been good against lefties. They're hot right now. They're actually a lineup that I think can grind them out, kind of get them out of there maybe in the 5th inning, throw a bunch of pitches. They don't strike out much. And there is a heavy bullpen edge towards the Guardians, the number 1 bullpen in baseball over the last 5 weeks. Not that Cincinnati's pen has been that bad. It's just this lineup for Cleveland is one I don't want to go up against right now. So getting them plus 104, it's near a pick 'em price tag. I actually think this is another wrong team favored. I like the profile of betting the better lineup, the better team overall against just the starting pitcher. And that's exactly what I think we get here in Cincinnati. So it will put us on Cleveland as the dog plus 104. Heading to New York City up next, guys, we get the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. David Peterson, the lefty, going for the Metropolitans. Braxton Garrett, also a southpaw. So the battle of the southpaws here in the Fish and the Mets. 7 in the hook being the total. Looks like Mets anywhere from minus 141 to as high as minus 155 as I'm talking in the 9 a.m. Eastern hour here Wednesday morning. Marlins come in 23-43 off the win last night is the plus price, but they have lost 6 of their last 8. They're down 14 units on the season. It's been a pretty rough year there in South Florida for Fish fans, but the Mets come in. Hey, it hasn't been a great year for the Metropolitans. They're about 10 games under 500, and they're just 13-23 at home. The way I'm going after this one, guys, is Braxton Garrett. Yeah, he has had good performances in the past in his career. He changes speeds well, but recently 5 earned runs in just 2.2 innings. So he didn't make it out of the 3rd inning his last time out, giving up 5 earned against Tampa Bay. He also faced this same Mets lineup in the middle of May, only went 4 innings and 6 earned runs. They smacked him around a good amount. So past performance, he struggled against the Mets. And Peterson, he's only made 2 starts, so not a whole lot of sample size to go off of, but he's just given up 2 earned runs in each of the 2 starts. Against Washington, went just under 7 innings, 2 earned, and against the Dodgers, 2 earned over 5. Mets have crushed lefties here. I actually think low water mark, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, minus 141. I think the Mets get this done, guys. We'll lay the 41 cents with the Mets at home. Talking New York with the next team up, most wins in baseball. That's the New York Yankees. Cody Petit on the hill for the Yanks. They're visiting the Kansas City Royals. Looks like the Royals going with an opener here, 10.5 being the total, minus 145. That's the Yankees as the road favorite. And we are not stepping in front of the Bronx Bombers, guys. We've been on them, I think, 3 straight games now. And they're 48-21 on the season. Most wins in baseball, won 11 of 13. They got Poteet on the hill. He's got a sub-2 ERA, not a whole lot of sample size, but the 4th rounder out of UCLA, I think he can give us a decent start. Talked about the opener here for Kansas City, maybe try to get through one time through the lineup. I think they might struggle doing that. Kansas City, 10 games over 500, but they have lost 3 straight. They haven't lost 4 straight all season, but it's not like you play the Yankees each and every game. This New York Yankees team is one I don't recommend stepping in front of very often. Number 1 overall lineup in baseball, number 1 against righties, bullpen edge in this one. We'll lay the 45 cents with the Bronx Bombers over the Kansas City Royals. Guys, 1 game left here. This is Drew's Daily Diamond, going daily on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Again, if you could help me out and smash that like button, looking to grow the show here, and it helps the algorithm if you comment below. So let me know your MLB picks, where you're watching from, where you agree, any handicapping you're throwing out there. Feel free to fire away in the comments below. A lot of you guys yesterday asking about the recap. Bounce back week this week, and sure enough, yesterday, 5-2 plus 3 units. So a good day yesterday. And for the week, it was a good one on Monday. We're now 10-3, up just under 7 units of profit. So, hey, it's been good. Hopefully another profitable day today. If you like premium picks, check me out. Drew Martin experts page, WagerTalk.com. Got packages up and available. 7 days, $77. If you're looking for some premium picks, WagerTalk.com. Drew Martin. We got last game up here, West Coast, Pacific Northwest, Chicago White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. Bryce Miller on the hill for the M's, Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox, 7 in the hook being the total, minus 235. That's the M's is the home favorite. White Sox, we faded them yesterday. We laid the -1 with Seattle, and actually Seattle just won by 1 run, so it kind of pushed there. Also, do note Wu was scratched in that start, the Seattle starter. So it actually didn't go for me personally. But White Sox 17-51 on the season, just a .250 winning percentage. They're down 26 units on the season. They're 5-28. Man, 33 road games, and you've only won 5 of them. They're fade city all the way. They've lost 3 straight, 3 of 21 their last 24. They're 2-17 their last 19 games. They do have Cannon on the hill. A lot of people like him if you read his kind of prospect profile. 23 years old, 6'6", 210 pounds. He did have good minor league numbers. He's a rookie, but He has a 6 ERA in 4 starts in the show. I think he's going to have a tough one here against the Mariners. Up against Miller, who's a 4th rounder out of Texas A&M, the former Aggie, sub 4 ERA. He did give up 7 earned his last time out, so that's what makes me pump the brakes a little bit. But the M's have won 3 straight overall. They're 12 games over 500 when playing in Safeco. So we'll list Miller as the starting pitcher and lay, again, the -1. We're looking to go against the White Sox until further notice, guys. Sometimes riding these trends, a bad team, just bet against them. We don't want to lay the -235, so we're going to lay the -1 run line. And pretty much an advantage for the Mariners overall lineup against righties and bullpen edge. So that's how we're going to end it, guys, on the M's at home on the run line. Also in recap here, we're on the Yankees, -145. The Mets, -141. We're on Cleveland, +104. We're on the Nationals, +120 with the dog barking there. We got Baltimore, -126 over the Braves. We're on the under in Petco with the Athletics and the Padres. And the first game we talked about, Milwaukee Brewers, pick 'em price tag over the Toronto Blue Jays. So that's going to do it for the show. Smash that like button, comment below, cash those tickets. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy your Wednesday.